especially in marriage dynamics, is when somebody says, we need to talk. No, I mean, you can text that.
Yeah.
And nobody likes to get
It's off.
that
That's
text.
right. We're officially in a fight now.
Officially, you officially hate me, whatever that is. Yeah. So if even if you're in the same room, you're texting, you say, we need to talk, period, it automatically goes, somebody's dead, or I might as well be. It's going to be me here in a little bit. What happened? And you're always looking for the worst thing. There is a sense of tension when you use the phrase need to. It's like, you need to go sit down. You need to go do X, Y, and Z. And all we do is get defensive. And like, oh, well, what you need to do is. Right. And so we want to match that behavior. And I feel like it's a way of asserting dominance. Sometimes it's like, you need to go sit down. You need to go watch your mouth. And so anytime you get that, you want to make sure you don't lead with any kind of phrase that says, we need to, or I need to talk to you. It's going to immediately draw out the spikes. Instead, you need to begin with, can we? Can we talk about something that's important to me? Now it says...
It's an invitation.
Now we say the rules apply to both of us. When you say, can we? So if it is, let's say for this particular caller, can we talk about something that's important to me? Mm-hmm. That's number one. Number two, you need to tell them where that conversation is going. I feel like particularly with males, like we just look for, is there a bear in the bush? Like what's going on? I need to know, where is this conversation going? Because if I don't, we're going to cut in, try to fix it, try to solve it, try and like, oh no, this is what you mean. And the spouse says, no, that's not my point. Hear me out. Wait. And we get impatient. Like, can you just get to your point? Instead, it needs to be, and I'm telling you this because I'm feeling unheard here, or I want to walk away from this conversation feeling more understood. Like, you just need to give them a heads up of where that conversation is going. Because too often we don't know what we're talking about until we're already talking.
Yes.
Yeah,
we end up saying stuff that you can't get back.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't know what to say until you're already talking. And that's when you go to, no, give me a second. I'm still figuring it out. No, that's not my point. So anytime you're trying to land the plane, it's like you're just trying to find the runway when that happens. It typically is going to make the conversation go south. And then 3 is you need to try and get their buy-in into it. So it would be, can we talk about something that has been weighing on my heart here for a while? And I'm not asking you to solve anything. I just need you to hear me out. Can we do that? Does that sound okay? Is now a good time? And then when you get their buy-in in it, now you're in the conversation, because people don't like to break their word.
And if your husband says, I don't care, you got a bigger issue.
Yeah. Oh, then you have a way bigger issue.
You got to solve this thing.
A way bigger issue than the conversation
itself. That's not a
itself.
communication issue.
That's not a communication issue. That's a relationship issue.
Do people, I've been wrestling with this when it comes to marriage and intimacy.
Okay.
And get your opinion on it, because it's adjacent to this. I feel like I can weaponize the word need versus want.
Right.
So like one of my challenges with like the 5 love languages is when I identify a way that it feels good that somebody shows me they love me, then I tell you, you need to do it like this.
Right.
Versus what I think is a more vulnerable approach is, I want you to do it like this.
Yeah.
Because if I say I need to, I've put you on the block.
Yeah.
If I say I want to,
right,
you can go, I don't want that. And that's a vulnerable thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that right?
I think I'm
toying with it.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Using needs can be weaponizing in a way. So no, this is one of my needs. Needs are more personal than they are.
You can't argue
an obligation.
I can't argue.
Exactly. And so a lot of the times you can be even more like, and people have problems saying to the other person, describing their needs, telling their needs, asserting their needs, rather than I like using preferences. It does the same exact thing. So I prefer if we did this. I prefer if we did that. It's a more indirect way of saying it, but it's just as strong. Because if I say need, then it goes back into that whole thing of dominance.
That's it.
This is what I need.
Then you have to, right? And if you don't, then you don't love me.
You got it. Yeah. Then it's, why do you hate me?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's another call. My wife is constantly accusing me of cheating on her with no logical reason. Ooh, that's a tough one. Other than I always have my phone on me. She has my location, goes through my phone on a regular basis. I'm at my wit's end, don't know what to do. Should I take a stand or continue to put up with the disrespect? And the bigger question is, how do you react to somebody who's trying to gaslight you?
Gaslighting is something that can absolutely drive you insane, because that's what they're accusing you of.
Right.
The way I like to handle gaslighting is a phrase that I use all the time, and this is what I teach: is I see things differently. I see things differently. And here, if he's already opened up his entire life to this human,
they've got a deeper pathology.
They have there's a much deeper issue that's engaged in that than just gaslighting. But when you handle somebody who's gaslighting you, their whole thing is to kind of use a cat with a laser pointer. Like they just want to point you to different places in hopes that you don't address the real issue. So they want to continue to make you chase. It's kind of they'd like to dig a hole. And you have to go, that's not what happened. And you start filling it back up. No, that's not how it happened. And they go, oh yeah, you did. You don't remember this?
Right,
and
then you go,
that hole and then you go, no. Don't you remember? And that's the game, as they continue to use that. If you've ever had somebody that you know the truth went a certain way, you knew the past events went a certain way, and instead what they're doing is trying to go back in time. They go, oh, no, don't you remember? You said this, and then I said that, and that's when, and you're going, that's not what happened. They're controlling the narrative to try and play to their best favor. So often, the biggest move you can make is no move at all, and that is just to be still and say, I see things differently. I understand you disagree with me.
Do you wait for an invitation there just to expound?
Yes,
because I would feel tempted to say I see things differently, and then boom, immediately give the counter. But I feel like I'm playing. It's just a sophisticated way of trying to fill that hole back up.
You got it.
Okay.
That's all it is. So it just needs to be I see things differently, or you can disagree with me. I mean that right
and then
there.
Just let it hang.
Just let it hang. You just stop, because that's much more powerful than that's not what happened. Don't you remember? And you're trying to like prove it. All you're doing is just giving them more string to make a knot with. Instead, if you just say you're free to disagree with me, period, pause, nothing. What are they going to do? They have to go find another hole to dig. And then, they're just going to get tired.
Third one, how do I get my husband, and we can edit this out if you don't want to go this way. I just get all these kind of calls.
Yeah.
How do I get my husband to try new things in the bedroom, to switch things up, to spice things up? Usually it's the opposite problem. It's the man saying, we never do X, Y, or Z. I want my wife to be open to new things. But for us, it's the opposite. I'm not sure what to do. I feel like we're at a stalemate. He seems very closed off and isn't just really interested in me anymore. And so the bigger question here is, I think it's two questions. One, how do you approach a topic with your partner that's highly sensitive, that you know you're pushing on a button?
Yeah.
You've gained 40 pounds.
Right.
You're not coming home anymore, and you and I both know what that means. I want to try some things romantically, and then I guess the second question is, I guess reverse. How do I bring up a topic that I know, like tears are right here,
right,
or that heartbreak is right here, but I got to put on the table?
Yeah. So the answer really for both of those is almost the same.
Okay.
You set yourself up for failure when you try to begin with the pleasantry, the small talk, the soft stuff, the fluff. When you can come into the conversation and let's put it in a scenario, maybe not in the bedroom context, but let's say you have something sensitive that you're going to say, and you begin with, so how was your day? That's great. Oh yeah, was that good? Oh, did you see John today? Oh, that's wonderful.
And then
and then you go, and then exactly, and then what happens is you hear this. Did you hear John today? That's great. That's crazy. So listen, I had right there. That's it. That's the transition. You heard it. So listen, and then all of a sudden, everybody knows the temperature in the room has gone down. Now it's okay. Where's she heading with this? I'm feeling like there's something that is hidden from me. You're trying to get to the point of, I want to bring up this sensitive issue. All they hear is, I'm so bad. I need to get defensive right now. I'm not so bad.
Right.
So they need to put up. Instead, you need to just lead with the hard talk. So if it is, this is what I like to say. Let me put it in some business context real quick. So if somebody's calling me with bad news, like on my team, they are to say, you're not going to like this, like right out of the gate.
Yes.
As soon as I answer it, you're not going to like this. I go, okay, what we got? Going to deliver it to me. When you can say things like, this is going to be a difficult conversation. This is going to be hard to talk about. This is going to be uncomfortable for me to bring up. This is going to be, I'm going to be vulnerable telling you this. Whenever you can just try and prime the conversation with exactly what it's going to be, isn't going to be fun for us to talk about. Then you get into the conversation rather than trying to come at it indirectly with a whole lot of fluff where it's just going to work up their anxiety because they don't know where you're going throughout all of it. So that would be the biggest takeaway. So if you're saying something that you want to have like a very sensitive discussion, let's say it is about things that happen in the home, then I would prefer that you lead very much with the hard intro, and that is, this is something that's going to be important to me. I have something that's going to be vulnerable for us to talk about, and I'm telling you about it because I know you want me to be vulnerable with you.
Yeah. I often find in relationships, especially romantic relationships, that the phrase, we need to work on our communication, is proxy for they're not doing what I want.
Yeah, when they say we, it's usually like you got a mouse in your
Or
pocket.
he needs to work on his communication.
Exactly, yeah.
Or how do you help the person in this case? She already feels like an oddball.
Right.
She already feels like there's something wrong with her, right? And so that makes the conversation more personally sensitive. And she's not getting the answer that she wants. At some point, it feels like, oh, I just need to say it in a different way.
Right.
How do you teach somebody to exhale and say, no, you got the answer that you got?
Yeah, it's hard to teach. Often it is the idea that you have to leave enough room in that conversation for what they're not saying. Often you have people who will very much tell you the truth, but it's in the silence of their words that's the real answer. That they could say something.
Yeah, like, are you cheating on me?
Exactly. There's a difference in a pause versus of asking the question that comes after, where were you last night? And there's a 10-second pause.
Right.
They didn't say anything, but they said a lot. It's that silence there, it may be the absence of words, it's not the absence of communication. Yeah. And so anytime that it is more of the question of what are they not saying. And if it's something very vulnerable, another technique is to really just prime the room, prime the conversation, saying this is going to be something that is sensitive for me. Yeah. And they're going to either engage with you or not. But if somebody feels like they're the odd person out and they're looking for the answer they're not getting, that's a much deeper relationship issue that communication is not going to solve.
Yeah, I think that may be the magic, is trying to find that balance between I'm not communicating in an effective way versus I don't want to hear what the truth here is. And so I'm going to keep going back and going back and going back.
Hoping for a different
answer. Yeah.
Praying for a
and that may
different
just be
answer.
grief, right? Like, like we don't have a psychology culturally for grief, right?
Of course.
So it's just,
And I also feel that there are people who are in this same type of position and they don't know what answer they're looking for. They don't know the ultimate question of what they want answered.
Is that because they don't know or they can't handle that answer?
Both.
Okay.
I think some of it is they just know it's a feeling. They don't know for a fact. Yeah. And so they actually don't know the final question of what's the answer that I'm looking for here. They just want to feel a certain way. So most of the time, whenever you find yourself in the same argument, if you haven't heard the end of it, you haven't heard the heart of it. It just going to continue to go around because you're not hitting that root cause.
You've got a great picture in this book that I'd never seen before, and I love the way it looks. And it's about something different, but I think it relates here. Because really, what this person is asking is herself is, can I stay married to somebody who's not romantically interested in me?
Right.
Can I stay in this?
Yeah.
We have an 11-year-old and a 14-year-old. We've been married almost 2 decades. Is this going to be the rest of my life? That's the question they're asking themselves. Yeah. And they keep putting that on the other person. Am I going to stay with you? Am I going to, you help me.
Yeah.
You have a graph in here where it talks about somebody asks you something, saying maybe, and it has discomfort. Yeah. But then the discomfort just goes indefinitely until this thing happens.
Right.
And when I saw that, I started laughing because I'm so guilty of saying yes to a speaking event and then being mad for the next 2 months at you for asking me, and I said yes.
Right.
But then you had the next picture was saying no and having discomfort high and then falling off.
Exactly.
And there's something about you're going to get the answer, should we stay married?
Yes.
And if you keep looping like this, you've been married 17 years, it may be 30 years when this thing finally dissolves. Exactly. And so you've lost almost 15 years of your life.
Right.
just
Waiting.
Right.
Waiting.
And so how do you teach somebody to get to the question they're actually asking?
That takes a lot of inner work of writing it down.
What actually, that's, yeah.
I mean, that's just, it's plain and simple. There's a difference between
distilling,
keeping it in your head and actually getting it on paper, because that's going to make it much more tangible of what am I asking for? What is the question I need this person to answer, rather than what is the feeling I can convince myself that they're giving me. And it's a big difference every time.
I've never considered that, dude. Huh. That's a fascinating take, Jefferson. How often we go into a conversation, especially a difficult one or potentially difficult one, and the answer is secondary.
Yeah.
I want to feel a certain way when this is over.
Exactly.
And no other person can give us that.
Right.
And so if I ask you, are you cheating? And you say no, I expect to feel better.
Yeah.
I'm not going to feel better.
No.
Because I wouldn't have asked that question if I already
Exactly.
felt good about our relationship.
You got it.
Or you say yes, I'm going to feel. And so there is no way that conversation can win.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you ask that hard question, are you cheating on me? And the answer, and the amigo go, no. The answer to your question, that didn't make you feel any better.
Because you weren't looking for
No.
a conversational answer. You're looking for a feeling.
You got it.
And so you got to extract that out.
Yes. And so the person can't give you feelings. And that's all something you have within yourself. I can't make you feel a certain way.
Right.
You know that conversation.
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing when they answer the question, but yet you still feel it. Like I need that feeling. I need that vacuum from you. Give me all the feelings where I feel comforted. Yes, let me feel good and safe and secure. You're not going to get that, not in the way you ask that question.
Dude, that's profound. That means I would almost recommend somebody hold off on what I would say like the buck stops here conversation until like you write about eloquently, until you know exactly what you're asking.
Yeah, and how you want to feel after it.
Yeah.
Because it can be, even when you get the answer, it can feel very hollow.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to give you what you were looking for. It was the feeling you were chasing.
Okay. I'm going to have to stew on that one because I think that's a huge chunk of the marriage conflicts I enter into sitting with people is I wanted to feel a certain way. And it's like, what?
Yeah. I want you to feel like you're connecting with me, be on the same page. But it's like, I'm answering your questions.
There's no answer I can give you to help you feel. Yeah.
I answered your question. What are you talking about? What are you wanting from me?
Yeah.
If you enjoyed that clip and want to see the rest of the conversation, you can click right here. Or if you want to see the latest episode of the Jefferson Fisher podcast, click right here and I'll meet you there.